My number 4 was the Idols concert that we already talked about. But to add on to that, it was a lot of fun. There was some crowd surfing.
We didn't do any though.
No. But oh my god, I got punched in the back of the head and also in the jaw. And I think I got bruised pretty bad by somebody's boots on my shin. Those are all bad things. But I had a great time.
It's battle scars.
Yeah. And, I mean, they, played a couple of my favorite songs from them. One of them being, what's it called, Love Song?
Mm-hmm.
Love Song. And we just, it was good. It was like, it's like a thing we sing together.
They played Love Song for longer than any other song.
Yes.
They played Love Song for like 10 minutes.
Yes, and it was great. It was great.
My number 4 is the day before Election Day. Yeah, because it was sort of the pinnacle of the whole election cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in case anyone doesn't know, I ran for local office. I ran for the city commission in the district I live in, the city of Griffin. And the day before Election Day, so November 2nd? Was it on November 3rd this year? Or was it I think it doesn't matter. The day before the election, the whole morning I was organizing on the phone, coordinating with Black Voters Matter, coordinating with my campaign manager, coordinating with volunteers, getting everything set up to turn out voters on the last minute,
Mm-hmm.
Had to get people to go out and vote the next day. So we already had one person who wanted to volunteer, who I had no opportunity to get help us volunteer until this point, and she came through with the clutch that last minute, and went with you, which I'm sure was very scary for you to go. You're sort of alone and canvas, but I'm so glad you did. You and her went to canvas one of the big Democratic bases, like neighborhoods that we knew everybody would be a Democratic voter and likely to vote, while I took on the harder voters by myself on foot because I didn't want to put you two through that, and I had avoided this part. It's a rich part, the richest part of the district I was running in, and I had avoided them because my policies focus on the working class, and so I was really trying to turn out the working class, but rich people are more likely to vote, so that's why I saved them for the last day, because I was like, they wouldn't have issue. They would not have a scheduling problem with going out to vote the next day, whereas someone who works 50 hours a week would. So on foot, I walked all around this place, knocking on these really rich houses, dealing with people who were more confrontational than anyone else I had dealt with canvassing. But it was still really good. I was like, I'm out here doing the work. And I had some bad people. I had some really good people who were accepting. And I talked to some people who didn't even live there. They were just walking around, working. I talked to some workers as well that were like working on landscaping these wealthier houses as well. I don't know, it was generally a good time. But then also, Antonio Daza, who I had been in contact with over the phone, who's running in this year, 2022, for the 11th Congressional District in Georgia. So it's kind of a big honor to meet this guy. He came down was going to help canvass, but because of how far the drive is, didn't have time because the sun was going down. But we met up with him. I got to show him my favorite local restaurant. Had some really good talks about progressive action, and why both of us are running and how we can help each other. And gave him a tour of downtown Griffin. That it really made me feel like a big part of this community. Being able to show an outsider who may potentially serve us in the United States Congress, the city that I've lived my whole life in, Had a really good time. He's a really cool guy. And it was just the big coming together of the whole election. Just canvassing all day, organizing all day, and then spending time meeting someone who is also an activist and running for office.